and then there used to be a house right there on the side of the hill, and then Lapway Creek, and then the church down below. She lived in that house.
Ah.
And that's where we used to go visit her, because when I was young with Jane, I lived with...
That's Jane Allen. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I lived with her and my grandmother, Lillian. And she wasn't into white man food. I wasn't raised on white man's food. I was raised on Indian food with her. And I don't know who took us around, but we'd all go digging, her grandchildren, and I was as old as her grandchildren. So my aunts and uncles were all the same age, virtually all the same age, like Kenny Oatman and Everett and all the rest of them were all the same age, and then you get a bunch of them that are all younger than me. I was the oldest one, and it was the same way with my mother. She was as old as her uncles, like Butch and Ronald and all them. And we used to go around digging roots, Cottonwood, other places, and go dig roots. And my great-grandmother would have them in huge barrels, and we have to dry them on the roof and do corn, the whole thing, and then she had her own garden. And the only thing that she used to do is she would travel around and she'd make moccasins and she'd make gloves. And she sold her gloves for money to the workers at the mill in Kamei, or she'd go to town and then she would trade. And all she would buy was sugar, flour, macaroni, coffee. That was it.
Yeah, that was my concept of that too.
And that's all she did.
Did she ever get married?
Jane? Yeah, she was married to Jim.
Oh, you were talking about Jane just now? I thought you were talking about May. Oh, okay.
No, that was Jim's wife, Jane. That's what we used to do when we was kids, just travel around and do that.
What was that at? Up in Kamei? Or what was that at?
Yeah, in Kamei.
Up in Kamei.
Yeah, what happened was, when we ended up in Kamei by the bridge, when you cross it, that's their land, right there, the Oman land. But they own what they call the ranch. And something occurred where Jim Oatman lost his land due to taxes. And so Lillian, being who she is and what she always fought, she fought against the taxes to get his land back. And they didn't give it back to him, but they traded. So he ended up with the 80 acres near Kamei. But I don't know whatever happened to the land above Kamei. It's where they took the land for taxes and stuff. So we ended up living down there in Kamei, and so that's where the Oatman clan still lives, more or less. And
so that was in the time of Jane?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because Jim Oatman was run over while he was on the bridge in Kamei, and a truck came around, Firestone truck came around and hit him and drug him along the edge of the bridge. So it sliced him in half. And we were living here in San Jose, and then we went to the funeral. And then several years later...
What year was that, remember?
63. And I think she passed away in 68, I think, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I could check that.
Yeah, she might have died in 68.
She was pretty old then.
Not really.
No?
Oh,
yeah, because she was like born in 1901 or something, huh?
Yeah, because she would have been considered young, and I think Jim was probably 69 or 70 himself when he died in 63, and then 4 or 5 years later, she died. And I forgot of what.
I could look that up too.
Yeah.
They have death records in the bureau.
Yeah, because then we went to her funeral that time, and she used to come here. And it used to make me sad. She'd go around, me and her, all the time. She was a short lady and everything, and she would, at the drop of a hat, tell you everything about herself.
Gosh, that's too bad. I would love to have met her and had her tell me that.
Yeah, she would. If there's a guy sitting there behind you, and she'd say, "Hi there. My name is Jane Altman. I am Nest First, and this is my grandson. He's 18 years old, and this, that, the other." She just go on and on.
And you're just super embarrassed.
Yeah, this one. Puch, you know, call him Puch. Puch, what are you doing? And we'd go to the flea market in San Jose, and she'd do the same thing. She'd just walk around, and she'd be amazed by how many people there were. And in those days, there weren't a lot of differences like they are.
Who was she visiting? Your mom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she came to visit us.
So your mom was
Marion.
Marion, that's right. So that was her oldest daughter?
No, I'd be granddaughter.
Oh, it's her granddaughter.
Yeah.
Okay,
My mother is Jane's granddaughter.
Okay.
So then that's why Jane is my great grandmother.
Okay. So your mom's mom
is Lillian Major.
Okay, Lillian. Okay, then Lillian's mom was Jane. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Lillian's mother is, because the only ones left now is Marky and Ron. That's it, really. Now Beatrice is gone.
Yeah, Beatrice is gone.
Well, I want to go to the funeral.
I know, me too. I was so sad about that.
Yeah, because if you, she used to tell you interesting tidbits about people. Just ask her; she'll start rambling, and she'll go on. And
I know. I'm so sad. I missed it.
She seemed to know everybody's business.
Yeah.
And everything.
Do you have photos of Jane then? Other later ones? Different ones? I mean, you know, from...
No, I don't. The only ones I would think to ask would be Laura.
Oh, yeah, Laura.
She might have them because about 1972, 73, a guy was doing a master's thesis on why is there a first and second church in Kamiah. Because of theological differences and stuff. He came up with this whole theory why one walked away from the other one. And his theory was the Presbyterian group, one group was more into Indian ways and liked that and didn't want to get rid of it. And so then one stayed that way and the other one wanted to go more modern into the Presbyterian philosophy and whatever. And then that guy would sit with Lillian and talk about that, though she was Pentecostal. And everything, and that guy took pictures all the time. He'd walk around with a camera and just go around, and people would pose and do this and that.
Where is that guy? Where are those photos?
No, I can't even think of his name. He might have the stuff at
online?
On the library.
Oh, in the library, WSU.
No, Nez Perce.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did things with Nez Perce tribe. And so his thesis might be in there. So then he walked up to Beatrice, "Why is there first and second church?" And Beatrice said, "Oh, one of the elders raped this one girl." And he stayed with that first church. And the other group said, "You should get rid of that guy. He's a rapist." So they started another church.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No.
So that's how come there's two churches and everything. And here this guy come up with his whole philosophical differences and stuff like that. And here Beatrice comes along. "Oh, that elder raped that one girl and he remained on the eldership of the church." And then the other group just said, "We don't want a rapist as an elder." So they created their second church.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
And so he took all these pictures, and I used to see those. You see, after her husband was killed and everything, they sued for money. The company, Firestone Tires. And so she got about $15,000 out of that. And they built her a house for her. And so this guy would go around with no film in the camera, because everybody posed when he took pictures, but he had no film in the camera. So after they got used to him doing that, people wouldn't pose anymore. Silly guy, still good taking pictures. So then people wouldn't pose. And then he put the film in the camera. And then he got natural shots of them.